This is a message from sponsor Intuit TurboTax. Taxes was waiting and wondering and worrying if you were ever going to get any money back. And then waiting, wondering, and worrying some more. Now Taxes is matching with a TurboTax expert who can do your taxes as soon as today. An expert who gives your taxes their undivided attention as they work on your return while you get real-time updates on their progress so you can focus on your day. An expert who will find you every deduction possible and file every form, every investment, everything with 100% accuracy. All so you can get the most money back guaranteed. No waiting, no wondering, no worries. Now this is Taxes. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live full service. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
Oh, sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. I'm on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeovers here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to watch a broadcast, it's so easy, even a goddamn liberal can do it. Just go to shrmedia.com, or you can go to YouTube and Facebook and just search for SHR Media, and don't forget to click the subscribe, like button. Oh, I'm trying to set something up, so it's always fun. Oh, trying to do 20 things at the same time. So much fun, because it boogered up when I was trying to do it right before getting on air. How's everybody doing? Hopefully everybody's Halloween was great. How are you doing, Dave, the unpleasant blind guy? Great to have you here. Don't forget, everybody, if you want, jump into the chat room and join the conversation. Where are we? Let's see where we're at. Where are we? I don't know. There's so much going on. Man, I was chomping at the bit yesterday with taking off for Halloween. It just, had me pissed off, especially with everything that I saw going on. I couldn't believe it. And we're going to get into that. We're going to be hitting a little bit here, a little bit there. One of the biggest things I couldn't believe I saw was, I always forget how to pronounce this jackass's name. It's a Democrat, Luis Gutierrez. I got it right here. Hold on. It's going to be a little bit loud, but.
Gutierrez.
Sorry, I always forget how to pronounce this asshole's name. Well, a day after a terrorist attack, this asshole is pushing full steam ahead with impeachment measures, and hey Jenna, glad you can make it too. We got 8 people that are dead, and this asshole wants to play around with more of this political bullshit. House Democrats will file impeachment measures before Thanksgiving. They've already filed it twice so far with no success. There's nothing to base it on. They still don't have nothing to base it on. But this asshole, well, he's going to file, and he told The Hill on Wednesday, it is clear to us that he is unfit to be president of the United States of America. When you ask him what he's done to be unfit, they'll give you a runaround. This is nothing more than just a publicity stunt. A way for them to try to fundraise. Look at us. Look what we're doing. We're trying to get rid of Trump. Oh. But Gutierrez declined to say on what basis Democrats will make their impeachment case, but told The Hill, I assure you we will not leave you lacking for reason. Well, you just did, asshole. You just did. These comments come a day after New York police officers arrested a 29-year-old who's originally from Uzbekistan for running over how many people? I don't even know the total number right now. And a terrorist attack that is linked to ISIS. And this jackass wants to play games. Now, left-wing Democrats have been pushing for impeachment even before Trump took office. They've been, we're going to impeach him. Hasn't even taken office. No, we don't care, we're going to impeach him. That's how idiotic they sound. Democrat megadonor Tom Steyer recently launched a $10 million ad campaign in support of impeachment, while left-wing activists have been using the impeachment issue to energize the base and call for protest, which really isn't energizing the base. The impeachment push comes despite Democrat leadership, and one of them being House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi, repeated pleas for Democrats to hold their fire on the issue. Because what they're doing is they're handing campaign material to the Republicans. Why do you think the Republicans really didn't push on the impeachment charges for Obama? They knew they didn't have the numbers to actually get him impeached. And if they actually pushed it, it would give more power and it would gen up the base of the Democrats. So they backed off of it. Now, this Goodyear has had a heated relationship with the White House. The congressman previously sparked controversy after attacking General John Kelly, Trump's chief of staff, as a disgrace to the uniform. Goodyear, who never served in the military, refused to apologize for his attack on Kelly. And this is also the asshole it's a congressman. He's been arrested how many times now? He's pushing for illegal immigration. He's pushing for open borders. And this guy swore to uphold the Constitution, and he's done anything but uphold the Constitution. And calling him an asshole is me being very calm and nice. There's a few words I'd like to call him, but I know if I use those words right now, I would probably offend a few people. I'm just getting sick and tired of these games. It's ridiculous. Then they wonder why. Hang on. Come on. Oh, so close, so close. Oh, so close. Then they wonder why people are so tired of these politicians and our government. There is such a negative approval rating of Congress as a whole. Why? Because of shit like this. And I don't know why I try to help the Democrats here, but I'm going to because, well, understand this. It's the path that you're going down is not a good path for your party. You're believing too much of your bullshit and not enough of reality. You're believing in your lies, you're believing in your own propaganda, and you're believing your own bullshit polls. And when you start believing your own lie, you start to live in an alternate reality. Trying to set up an app, and I got to log into my Comcast provider, and it's not trying to find Comcast on it. It's not that easy, even just to scroll through it to begin with. It's grr. Deal with that on the first break. And this one kind of shocked me, and I'm trying to figure out what he's up to. Bernie Sanders. Americans are not staying up every day worrying about Russian interference in our election. How many people have been saying that for a while now? And now all of a sudden Bernie Sanders is saying that. It makes me wonder what is his angle and what is he up to. And if you don't understand what I mean, Dave, there will be a Sackheads tonight. It will be hosted through a different venue. I don't think they're going to be live in studio, but they will be live. They're getting someone else is doing the broadcast. I'm not sure exactly how they're doing it, but there will be a Sackheads tonight because last I heard they still don't have internet. But Bernie Sanders, but he argued that while the investigation into allegation of Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election was important, it was also important not to lose track of what he called bread and butter issues. Now, I couldn't find the article, but with all this, everything going on, one thing that got overlooked is Google and Facebook executives had to appear before Congress. And one of the things that they brought up was, yes, Russia bought ads. Those ads were not displayed until after the election. And those ads were about how President Trump was not a valid and rightful president. They were doing ads, paying for ads that were undermining President Trump's presidency. The exact opposite is going on in the real world of what they are accusing of happening. Figures, leave it to the Democrats to do that. It just... I don't know. But Sanders explained to host Seth Meyers that this was because Americans were not staying up every day worrying about Russian interference, but other more pressing needs. Equally important or more important, we have to focus on the bread and butter issues that mean so much to ordinary Americans. Americans are not staying up every day worrying about Russian interference in our election. They're wondering how they're going to send their kids to college. They're wondering how they're going to be able to pay the rent. They are worried about whether they can afford health care. Yeah, that stuff where you keep jamming taxes down their throats, Bernie, where you keep taking money from American people, Bernie. That's why they're worried about that. Maybe if the federal government got the fuck out of my wallet and your wallet and everybody else's wallet, we wouldn't have to worry about our bills so much. We are the wealthiest country in the history of the world, and our job is to create an economy that works for all of us, not just the 1%. And those are issues that we must absolutely and cannot afford to lose sight of. Well, then stop fucking around with Trump and the tax reform. Because time and time again, we have seen underneath Republicans, and especially Reagan, you cut taxes, jobs open up. If these 1%ers that create these jobs, big jobs, don't have the money to make these jobs, there is no jobs. If the government keeps taking all their money, they don't have money to create a job. And they say, well, Reagan's trickle-down economics didn't work. Well, we went from what? 500 billion America had made in profit before Ronald Reagan. And after he cut taxes, the United States was bringing in 900 billion in profit. Taxes were lower, but we were bringing in a greater percentage of money. Explain that one to me. Oh, tonight's going to be fun because I got my new coffee mug. I had to stop at Wawa today, and I had to get my 20-ounce travel mug. I got tired of getting... I didn't have anything good here at the house, so I had to get a little something. Yeah, I agree. Trickle down worked great. I still think it'll work great underneath Trump. It'll get things going. So I got my Wawa coffee. And that's just for the first part of the show. And then the second part of the show, I have my rum sour. Just a small glass in my Flyers. And it's the Kraken rum. Going to try that for the first time. Kraken rum. And then probably to finish the night off, I will have my Gatorade. Good old Gatorade. We know Gatorade.
Water sucks. Gatorade is better.
What?
Huh?
Use it on the field.
But.
Gatorade not only quenches your thirst better, it tastes better too, idiot.
You're drinking the wrong water.
Gatorade.
H2O.
Gatorade.
H2O.
Water sucks. It really, really sucks. Water sucks.
No, stop
It
saying
really,
it.
really
You
sucks.
don't mean that.
All right, sorry. When I was getting the show ready, that popped in my head. I had to play that. So, yeah, I'm going to have some fun tonight, and we'll see how things go. I'm going to play... Melanie has sent me a new Melanie Minute. This one's about credit, I think. So, we're going to play Money Talks with Melanie Minute.
Welcome to this week's Money Talk Minute with your business diva, Melanie Collette. This week, we're going to discuss interest rates. Why are they important? Well, they're important on two sides of your financial coin. On the one side, you have your debt. Credit card debt, loans, and things like that. You always want to get the lowest interest rate possible. Why? That means that money is costing you a lot less to borrow with a lower interest rate. And speaking of debt, when you're looking at which loan or which credit card to pay off first, you're always going to look at the interest rate. Which one has the highest interest rate? That's the one you want to start paying off first. On the savings side of the financial coin, What kind of savings account do you want to open? What one should you choose? You will always choose the one with the best interest rate, and on the savings side, the best interest rate will be the highest interest rate. This means it will yield you the highest amount of return. And that's it for your Money Talk Minute of the Week. I am your business diva, Melanie Collette.
And with that, we're going to head to a break, and you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, and we will be right back if I put the right damn thing up. Oh, my God. I hate when I do that. Be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. If you want to watch a live stream, it's so easy. I mean, there's 3 ways you can go. You can go to shrmedia.com. You can go to YouTube or Facebook and just search for SHR Media. It's that simple. Crap. Damn it. I'm watching the Flyers game at the same time, and freaking Chicago just scored twice in like a minute. Rat bastards. So, all right, Fusion GPS, more and more is coming out about, I should say, about that company. And Fusion GPS, the research firm that commissioned the dossier on President Donald Trump, is the same firm that reportedly set out to smear a major donor of Mitt Romney's in 2012's campaign, and the Sting video maker who exposed Planned Parenthood's alleged profiteering from the sale of aborted baby parts. The Wall Street Journal's editorial board wrote about Fusion GPS back in May of 2012 and highlighted the work of Kimberly Strassel in uncovering the Obama campaign smears of then GOP nominee Mitt Romney. As Ms. Strassel has reported in recent columns, Idaho businessman Frank Vandersloot, oh my God, that sounds like straight out of a comic book. Oh, this is Frank Vandersnoot. He would be your snooty, I don't know, I can't think today. But just that name, immediately think Family Guy, in a high society, rich people, nose up in the air. I'm Vandersnoot. How are you? But he became the target of a smear campaign since it was disclosed earlier this year that he had donated $1 million to a super PAC supporting Mr. Romney. President Obama's campaign website teed him up in April as one of 8 less than reputable Romney donors and a bitter foe of the gay rights movement. Once in, his wife donated to an anti-gay marriage campaign of the kind that have passed in 30 or so states. Now we learn a little more than a week after the presidential posting, a former Democrat senator staffer called the courthouse in Mr. Vandersloot's hometown of Idaho Falls seeking his divorce records. Ms. Strassel traced the operative, Michael Wolf, to a Washington, D.C. outfit called Fusion GPS that says it is a commercial research firm. Sounds like it is a attack dog of the Democrat Party. It is an attack arm of the Democrat Party, if anything. Fusion GPS is run by a former Wall Street Journal reporter, Glenn Simpson, And he won't say who is paying him for his high-minded slumming, but said in an email that Mr. Vandersloot was a legitimate target because of his record on gay issues. As it was reported in June, Fusion GPS was also hired by Planned Parenthood to perform a forensic evaluation on a series of videos released by the Center for Medical Progress and its project leader, David, in the summer of 2015. Fusion GPS analysts of the video helped Planned Parenthood create the narrative that the video exposing its alleged potential criminal profiteering from the sale of aborted fetal tissues were deceptively edited. Oh, I love that all the time. It was deceptively edited. Like fucking NBC, CNN, MSNBC, all of them haven't done that shit. They all do deceptive editing. Fuck, NBC got caught. I think it was NBC or CBS got caught blatantly editing Zimmerman from Martin Truex incident to make it sound like he was making racist comments. They purposely edited the 911 call, changed it around to make it sound like he was making racist comments. But, oh my God, someone that went undercover, like Veritas. Holy shit, I'm coming up blank-minded tonight. I guess that paint went to my head. Whew. But the Veritas, they get accused of the same thing of deceptive editing. But you never hear anybody complain about, well, I shouldn't say anybody. You never hear the liberal media complaining about the deceptive editing on NBC or CBS, whoever it was that edited the 911 call. No, you don't hear that shit. So they didn't deceptively edit it. They just took out all the bullshit and chatter that had nothing to do with the tape, with what needed to be said. That's the excuse. It's deceptive editing. Results of the Fusion GPS analysis were reported at Politico in August of that year with the headline, Report for Planned Parenthood Finds Sting Videos Manipulated. The ambiguous political report observed, a report commissioned by Planned Parenthood was found that the Sting video targeting its tissue donation practice contained intentionally deceptive edits and inaccurately transcribed conversations in our missing footage. The news report, however, also noted, but there is no evidence that the anti-abortion group behind the attack made up dialogue. So, inaccurately translated conversation, but the anti-abortion group behind the attack, there's no evidence that they made up dialogue. Okay. The firm also wrote that it is impossible to characterize the extent to which the edits and cuts distort the meaning of the conversation depicted, and that there was no widespread evidence of substantial video manipulation, Politico reported. The report by research firm Fusion GPS attempts to undermine the video's political, legal, and journalistic value, the report also said, regarding the company's bias. The company is not going out there to do research. The company is going out there, how can we put up doubt in people's mind? How can we create doubt? That's all they're doing. They're trying to create doubt. I don't know. The company's out there just to cover the Democrats' lies and illegal activities. They're an arm of a criminal enterprise. That's all. Planned Parenthood and its media and political supporters continue to this day to insist the video produced by CPM were deceptively edited. A analysis of the video was then conducted by Coalfire, a third-party forensic company hired by Pro-Life Alliance Defending Freedom. The second analysis found that the videos were not manipulated and that they are authentic. Paul Sperry wrote at the New York Post about Fusion GPS that federal records show a key co-founder and partner in the firm was a Hillary Clinton donor and supporter of her presidential campaign. Sperry noted in September 2016, while Fusion GPS was quietly shopping the dirty dossier on Trump around Washington, its co-founder and partner Peter R. Furich contributed at least $1,000 to the Hillary Victory Fund and the Hillary for America campaign. Federal Election Commission data shows. His wife also donated money to Hillary's campaign. Properties records show that in June 2016, as Clinton allies bankrolled Fusion GPS, Fitchers bought a 6-bedroom, 5-bath home in Bethesda, Maryland for $2.3 million. Hey, you know what? The company got, $12 million between Democrat Party, Hillary Clinton campaign. They got $12 million. Plus, you also have Obama kicked up another $1 million. They made a lot of money off of writing up fiction. They wrote up a false report, outright lies, and got paid big money for it. Sources say Fusion GPS had its own interests beyond those of its clients in propagating negative gossip about Trump. Fitcher, who serves as the Journal's bureau chief in Mexico and has lectured on the liberal Wilson Center's Mexico Institute. Holy shit, tongue-tied tonight, too. Married into a family with Mexican business interests. His wife, Beatriz Garcia, formerly worked as an executive at Grupo Dina, a manufacturer of trucks and buses in Mexico City that benefits from NAFTA, which Trump opposes. So basically what it's coming down to is Fusion GPS had a besides the financial of the company getting paid, their ties to Hillary Clinton, they had other incentives for them to try to keep Trump from becoming president or get him removed. But Fusion GPS is now known to have been funded by Hillary Clinton campaign, the DNC through law firm Perkins Coie, the same law firm to which Obama campaign organization Obama for America paid nearly $1 million. It blows my mind. It really does. This is Fusion GPS needs to be investigated, and we need an independent counsel. I talked about this, I believe it was Monday. It is high time that we get a counsel, independent counsel on Hillary, Obama. There is a whole slew of things, and Jeff Sessions needs to get off his ass and start looking into. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm getting sick and tired of always turning the other cheek. I am a Christian, but you know what? I'm not such a good Christian as everybody else is. I don't always turn the other cheek, and I've about had it. After a while, there's no more cheeks to turn, and it's time to stand up. All right, we're going to play that Money Minute with Melanie. Money Talks Minute with Melanie. And then we're going to head to break.
Welcome to this week's Money Talk Minute with your business diva, Melanie Collette. This week, we're going to discuss interest rates. Why are they important? Well, they're important on two sides of your financial coin. On the one side, you have your debt. Credit card debt, loans, and things like that, you always want to get the lowest interest rate possible. Why? That means that money is costing you a lot less to borrow with a lower interest rate. And speaking of that, when you're looking at which loan or which credit card to pay off first, you're always going to look at the interest rate. Which one has the highest interest rate? That's the one you want to start paying off first. On the savings side of the financial coin, what kind of savings account do you want to open? What one should you choose? You will always choose the one with the best interest rate. And on the savings side, the best interest rate will be the highest interest rate. This means it will yield you the highest amount of return. And that's it for your Money Talk Minute of the Week. I am your business diva, Melanie Collette.
And this is the Reaver of Common Sense, and we will be right back after this brief message.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m., Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Dan the Man Butcher is in the chat room. How are you doing, sir? I need to make sure that I am on the up and up now. The boss is here. We got to do good. So, DNC. Well, you can't get any more racist than this anymore. DNC talks about that they want equality, and they don't want they're the ones for everybody, and they don't want division. But yet they're the ones that put out an email about a vacancy, and white men need not apply. Isn't that against federal regulations right there? But that's the message that the Democratic National Committee data service manager, currently on the hunt to fill multiple vacancies in the tech department. The political organization, which routinely makes grand statements about inclusion, recently sent an email to its employees looking to recruit people for 8 spots, including IT system administrator, product manager, and chief security officer. Through the October 30th email says that the DNC is looking for a staff of diverse voices and life experiences. It apparently doesn't mean white men. And yes, David, they should be sending the DOJ right in on them. The DNC's data service manager, Madeline Leader, purportedly wrote in an email that the desire for diversity excludes CIS gender straight white males. Also, CIS gender is a term for people whose gender identity matches the sex that they were assigned to at birth. Leader added, I personally would prefer that you not forward to CIS gender straight white males, as they are already in the majority. The email in question was not authorized by the DNC, nor was it authorized by senior leadership. Spokesman Michael Taylor told Fox News, all hiring decisions at the DNC are made consistent with the DNC's commitment to equal employment opportunity and hiring an inclusive and talented staff that reflects the coalition of the Democrat Party, because our diversity is our greatest strength. Well, if that is true, why do you have a manager sending around not wanting straight white men? That right there He's a manager. Should have the DOJ investigating. And the DNC should be answering for their racism. It seems that they are promoting a hatred. And it's okay because it's for the whites. Because their excuse is there's this white privilege. So I got a question for everybody. If there's this white privilege that's out there. If there's white privilege. Please tell me this. How come so many people are pretending to be black so that they can get extra opportunities in life? There seems to be no white privilege. There seems to be a lot of black privileges. I know that'll get me called a racist. Oh. So yesterday, all right, it was Halloween. I'm gonna jump subject for a minute. I gotta tell a story because I thought it was funny, and I was going to my wife to make sure I wasn't going nuts. So all this shit's going on with the attack in New York, and we're gonna talk about that after the top of the hour. And some guy put a statement, and it was. I'm gonna see if I can get it up. But he made a comment about all these mosques and everything, talking about honor killing, something to that effect, with a question mark. So somebody attacks him for it and calls him a bigot. And I make the comment of, well, he puts his opinion up on Twitter, and you're attacking him for it. I think you really need to look into your definition of bigot. And he was making a statement. I'm like, no, he wasn't making a statement. Well, he didn't put it as a question. I'm like, there was a question mark. And the guy kept putting everything but the question mark. He kept quoting everything but the question mark. Because it does change the subject of the sentence. Now, I was raised and taught that if you put a question mark at the end of a sentence, it could change a sentence from a statement to a question. And the guy was even like, well, if I say the sky is blue with a question mark, is that a question? Yes, you're saying it with uncertainty. The sky is blue. It doesn't matter exactly the wording, the punctuation means a lot. Where if you put an explanation, the sky is blue. Period, the sky is blue. Question mark, the sky is blue? It does change. Oh, and the best is, then he tried attacking my name, Reaver of Common Sense. My Twitter name, Reaver of Common Sense. And he only picked out the common sense part, so I told him, well, again, you're only picking out part of a situation. You're not pulling out the whole thing. I said it's Reaver of Common Sense. Reavers were the bringer of death, therefore death of common sense. Oh, you're trying to kill common sense. I was like, why are you changing everything in these sentences? I said, I'm not trying to kill anything. I said, death and kill are two different words. I'm like, going to my wife, I'm like, they are two different words, right? But something now, the guy made a comment, preach, kill gays and Jews with a question mark, and it was about the mosque and Muslims. And he kept forgetting that, and he said that this guy was making a statement. And as I put it, people put opinions up mostly on Twitter. That's what you do. You put your opinions up there. I don't know. This guy just was funny because he also said he had an English teacher there. And I told him I think the English teacher needs to go back to school. And it went on for a while, and I'm laughing. Then he starts bringing up about my numbers of followers, and he only has a few. I'm doing this to get attention, and I never brought up any of that. And it was like he kept trying to divert the conversation away. And I just stayed on, and then he's like, well, when are you going to have all your followers? When are they going to jump on and help me? Oh, I don't need help. I can handle this myself. And he didn't like that I pointed out that he had an obsession with that. and kept telling me he can deal with me all day. And then about 10 minutes later, well, I got to go trick-or-treating with a little kid. Bye. I know it's not big news. It's just funny how the trolls came out yesterday, even though I was supposedly the troll because I was correcting something he said. Oh, I know they play. I thought it was funny. I had fun with this guy. I'm laughing. I'm having fun with him. It's these people. It's yeah. He goes, well, you people, because he's like, oh, well, I'm going to tell you right now, because he's an avid. He smokes pot very much, and he has it all over his profile that he's pot smoking. I was like, maybe you smoked a little too much pot, dude. You may have burned your brain cells. And he's like, well, I got a job and I got this. I'm just being preemptive. I was like, I wasn't going to ask you. That's none of my business. That's your problem. Well, I know you people usually. I was like, oh, us people? I'm like, isn't that kind of racist? I love how Democrats can say whatever they want, but everybody else has to watch every little word they say. You know what? If they need to have all people run in to defend them, that's on them. I can do it myself. And if I can't, I'll just ignore them. Oh, did you hear John Podesta is now crying? Damn, my nose. Hold on a second. Whoa, woo. I almost just spilled a rum sour all over my mixing board. Woo. That would have been bad on two levels. That would have been, first of all, alcohol abuse. And then that would have been very sticky and destroyed my mixer. John Podesta is now crying. And if you don't know who John Podesta is, he's Hillary Clinton's former campaign manager. And he's complaining that he is now the victim. He is the victim of a smear campaign conducted by President Donald Trump. Because his old company and his brother stepped down, resigned. Podesta Group has been at the heart of some investigation with Russia and how should I put it? Maybe some money laundering, maybe some illegal political activities done through Podesta Group for Russia. But now John Podesta is crying that he is the victim. And he says, it's bad enough that I was the victim of a massive cybercrime directed by the Russian president. Now I'm the victim of a big lie campaign by the American president. Well, isn't someone special? I love how he has to try to be the victim to cover up his illegal activities. If anyone actually buys into he's the victim. Oh, yeah, that's Democrat Party. They try to go the victimhood all the time. Hell, look what they're doing with this terrorist attack. They're trying to make the Muslims the victims. And a friend of mine posted on Facebook. And they had a whole breakdown, time-wise and everything, of how when a Muslim attack happens. You know, first it's blame it on right-wing conservatives during this hour. Then you go and blame this one By day 2, you're blaming, you're going on that it's the Muslims who are the victims from retaliation. You'll have somebody talking about how they got dirty looks from some Trump supporter and it made them feel... I'm pretty sure you get the gist from there. I thought... Oh, I was hoping that I saved it. Maybe not. Let me see if I can find it during the break. But yes, definitely after the break, we're going to get to the terror attack in New York City. We need jihadist Islamic terrorists have declared war on us. We need to declare war on jihadist terrorism. We need to stop pussyfooting around with it. We need to wipe it off the mat and stop these attacks from happening in the United States. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, and we will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network. To voice his promos, he'd like me to tell you that the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cow for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to SHRmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m., Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Don't forget, coming up top of the hour in about 53 minutes will be the Sackheads radio show hosted by Sackhead Clint, BZ, and Sackette Sean. Coming up top of the hour, they'll be back this week. Their internet's still out, but they're being hosted through Dan the Man Butcher. So as everybody that knows that we were attacked again yesterday, we had a terrorist attack in New York. Some asshole used a truck, drove through a pedestrian and bike lane, and killed, 8? I forget. Yeah, I said Sackette. It's not the first time ISIS has done something like this, and it won't be the last. And trying to defend against something of this magnitude is difficult. But of course, one of the things I want to bring up, a friend of mine just posted it on Facebook, and she says it great because everybody's like, Trump's politicizing it, Trump's politicizing it, don't politicize it, don't be mean. And well, a lot of us, our responses was, you know what, you politicize Vegas. You jumped right on it, not even an hour. The scene wasn't even done, and Huffington Post had an article about gun control. They didn't even know what the hell was going on. And they wanted gun control. So a friend of mine posted this. Okay, let me just straighten this whole bantering between the parties about your politicizing New York, but you're politicizing Las Vegas thing. Gun ownership is a constitutional right. Terrorism isn't. Done. Oh, I know. Darian Ruff was politicized. The left does it nonstop, but they don't want it done. Why? Because, number one, their ratings are already in the toilet, and they know that. Number two, Chuck Schumer is the one that wrote that law that allowed this terrorist in there, and Trump's been plastering it out there, and the right has been pushing that. that Chuck Schumer is directly responsible for this terrorist getting in the country. That lottery was Chuck Schumer's idea. So, and that too, they want most Muslims support the left. So, of course, the left is going to, what the hell's going on here? Hang on. I just got a alert on my phone. On my phone, I have these alerts that pop up when there are so many people listening to a certain channel on a scanner. Adams County, Colorado, there's been a shooting, multiple parties down at a Thornton Walmart in Adams County, Colorado. Hey, Dave, can you do me a favor? Can you see if you can find any information? That's Adams County, Colorado. Supposedly a shooting. If you can find an article for me, if you can, I'll try to check on it in a second. This is the third day in a row my damn phone's going off with these alerts. What happened in New York is absolutely disgusting. This guy, and I can't say his name, Saifulo, Saipovo, he's from Uzbekistan. And what we also found out is a second person was wanted by the FBI in connection to this, and it has been captured. And it's the gentleman's roommate. Now, the guy hasn't been charged yet, as this guy has. I know people that watched the videos of the attack yesterday, and they kept telling me that there was a second person in that vehicle that they saw running from that vehicle. So it's absolute. Oh my God, what the hell's happening right now? Now this jackass is consumed by hate. He's in a hospital room. The officer shot him in the stomach. He is in a hospital room, and he asked if he could fly an ISIS flag. Thank you, Dave. While he's in the hospital. Of course, they pretty much told him to shove it up his ass. He has been charged on multiple counts. Let's see. The incident in Colorado, 2 men are dead after shooting inside the Walmart Supercenter. And the shooting was reported at 6:30 p.m. on West Coast. An hour later, the Thornton Police Department tweeted, "At this time, this is not an active shooter." One person so far has been transported to the hospital. May just be a small. Doesn't sound like there was a really big gunfight that happened. Just maybe a couple shots. I think everybody might be just a little on edge right now with anything that happens. Not trying to downplay the incident, but it just everybody is on edge right now. And what happened with this incident? And the left tries to deflect because they're always attacking guns and saying we need to ban guns. And they're even saying we need to ban guns. New York Governor Cuomo was going on and on about gun control, even though this guy used a truck. No gun. Oh, I'm sorry. He had I think a BB gun and a paintball gun when he got out of the truck. Looked like he was trying to become a martyr. And there was no gun used. He used unfortunately, a Home Depot pickup truck. And I'm not trying to pick on Home Depot about it. It just goes to, it doesn't matter what regulations we have. These idiots, they have hate in their heart. They're going to find a way to commit it. You don't need a gun. But a gun stopped the terror. Don't forget, this guy also drove the truck into a school bus that had kids in it. He drove his vehicle into a school bus. He tried to do harm to our children. I always thought, and I've said it on the show before, I thought that's where the liberals, where it would flip the switch in the liberals. That if they ever went after our kids, that's where the liberals would be like, okay, this is where we draw the line. To my surprise, that did not happen. The liberals are still trying to protect these extreme Muslims. And I'm not talking the everyday Muslim. I'm talking about these extreme idiots that go around with the hate in their heart trying to kill everybody. And maybe Trump is right, or whoever the senator was that suggested that maybe we ought to just put this guy in Guantanamo. Mark him an enemy of the state. Put him away. Maybe we don't want to do that. And let me tell you something. Even if, let's say it was a Christian group that was running around, or something, and name it Christians, they were doing this, I would be bitching the same about the Christian groups that were doing it. Hell, what the hell is that so-called Christian group that runs around protesting funerals and everything? Can't remember the name of the groups. Oh, I go after them all the time. And that's supposedly a Christian group. And they're one of those fucking fanatics. I don't care what religion it is. I care their actions. And this asshole sitting there and wanted an ISIS flag in his hospital room. And no, they don't. Christian groups would not cover for other Christian groups that were committing these atrocities. And we need more, and I understand it's putting them at top of the hit list. We need more of these Muslims to come out and speak against it. Speak up. Because we're the ones paying for this. They're not. And this guy had purposely picked Halloween, too. Because Westboro Baptist Church, thank you so much, Dave. Thank you. And that group, they are the scum of the earth. And they're supposed to be a Christian group. They're scum. I wouldn't piss on them if they were on fire. I wouldn't even spit on them. I just... So this isn't a lone wolf, because he wasn't by himself. And we need to stop using that Obama term that was an excuse to try to, excuse these attacks. And when Westboro Baptist Church pulls up to pull their bullshit, you'll see more Christians standing up against them. And what scares me is this asshole that perpetuated this terrorist attack lived here in Tampa, Florida, not far from my house. Literally like 20, 30 minutes from my house is where he lived. That's scary as hell. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, and we will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cap for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to SHRmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m., Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. Welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Don't forget, coming up top of the hour in about 34 minutes and counting will be the Sackheads Radio Show, hosted by Sackhead Clint BZ and Sackhead Sean. So tune in and jump into the chat room and join the conversation. I'm all tongue-tied tonight, and I can't speak too good. But eat. So Governor Cuomo is pushing for gun control after Islamist truck attack. And the famous, the one that just made me laugh is the AP sent out a tweet today. The authorities are looking and they don't have a motivation for why this guy committed this attack. What? Yeah, they do. It's called he did it in the name of jihad. He did it in the name of ISIS, Islamic terrorism. We have the motivation. The AP and the lamestream media does not want to admit it because, well, they've been putting up this fight trying to protect it for so long that if they finally actually admitted, same thing with the Pulse shooting. I was looking up some information on it, and he's what is it? It's not a terrorist attack. It's not labeled as a terrorist attack. It's listed as a mass shooting, a serial shooting, or something like that. And I'm like, what the what are these people smoking? Really? Why is my phone doing funky shit? Siri just popped on for no reason. Didn't even touch my phone, and Siri popped on. But yeah, they got, I'm pretty sure this will be somehow workplace violent too. I don't know. They're just losing their mind. And they're endangering so many people's lives by putting out this false narrative. They're endangering people left, right, and center. Just like if this was a Christian issue, I'd be calling it Christian terrorism. But they. And let me tell you, if it was in the name, this guy, well, I'm doing it in the name of Jesus Christ. You better believe. You better believe. In a heartbeat. Mainstream media would be jumping all over it. blaming Christianity for it. They hate Christianity, but they seem to love the Muslim religion. But as I was starting on, Governor Cuomo was pushing gun control. This is after a suspected terrorist attack in New York City using a truck. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo brought up gun control and hammered assault weapons in a press conference Wednesday. Cuomo said you play into the hands of the terrorists to the extent you disrupt and divide and frighten people in this society, and the tone now should be the exact opposite by all officials on all levels. This is about unification. This is about solidarity. This is about normalization. This is about protection. The last thing it is about is politics, period. We've been trying that for how many years now? And it hasn't worked. The Democrats stick your head in the sand and ignore what's going on and hope it goes away. That is their plan. And it hasn't worked. It hasn't stopped anything. He then began talking about guns, saying, as far as gun laws, I am increasingly proud that New York State passed some of the smartest gun laws in the country, the SAFE Act. I think it is madness the number of assault weapons that we have in this country. I think it endangers law enforcement. I think it costs us untold number of deaths. I hope one day we have a federal policy that actually brings sanity to gun policy laws in this country. Well, there is a way to tell how many deaths are caused. And it's underneath the FBI stats. And it really isn't that much. I don't have the numbers directly in front of me, but it's underneath rifles or long guns. And it's mixed in with other ones, and the percentage is so goddamn low, it's something like 2 to 3% of all firearm deaths are from assault weapons. There is such a small percentage, but because it's scary looking, you go after it. This asshole is an ISIS member. He rented a truck. He ran over and killed 8 people, injuring, 11, 12? Never had a firearm except for, a pellet gun or a paintball, as I said earlier. But the Democrats want to talk gun control. Can we talk stupidity control? Can we ban stupidity and ban Democrats? I mean, serious people. This isn't the first time. I forget one of the other attacks we had where a vehicle was used, and I can't remember which one it was. I don't even think it happened in the United States. And we had politicians here in the country. That's why we need gun control. Because someone used a truck? That takes a special kind of stupid. That really does. You know, one that kind of like puts that helmet on and sits there and licks the glass. That kind of stupid. What, besides a few votes, what do they gain by backing these murderous pieces of shit? Is it like the philosophy of the Democrat Party? Let's try to protect anything that is dangerous to America. Anything that is criminal, we'll protect. They love murdering babies. They love watching Americans die, getting killed by terrorists. They love protecting these illegal aliens. If we're going to protect murderers all the time, they don't want them put to death. And that's what's funny. They don't want terrorists put to death. They don't want murderers put to death. but they want abortions on demand. Explain to me how you make that your credo, your motto. Takes a pretty smart person how to have a good PR to make it sound like a positive thing. I don't know. I'm sickening by it. I'm embarrassed about the Democrat Party anymore. And they think that they have the popularity. They think they have the popularity. Right now, to use a Trump saying, I don't think a lot of them could get elected as a dog catcher right now. I really don't. You have the media right now. The media outlet and journalists are already warning of an anti-Muslim backlash and Islamophobia. Hasn't happened yet, but they're covering that than they are the actual terrorist attack. Trying to protect it and make it... Oh, who the hell was it? Tapper? Trying to make good on the Allah Akbar. I know it just means God is great. But, it's terrorists we hear mostly screaming Allah Akbar right before or after they committed a terrorist attack. Then the media wants to complain that that's so synonymous with terrorism anymore. And they want to blame it on conservatives, not the terrorists that are doing it. And they went, oh my God, there's going to be a anti-Muslim backlash. Hasn't even happened. They screamed about it with Trump's election and ends up there really wasn't any Muslim backlash because the ones that did happen were made up fake incidents. So even though they know they're fake and lies, they've still run with them. And like I said, they're just so worried that this attack could lead to an increased Islamic phobia because people will question the terrorist religious motives and possibly call for stricter immigration restrictions. Wow, we're going to call for better protection. We're going to call for a better understanding of who's coming in the country. Oh, that's such a backlash against the Muslim community. I don't care if it was Irish, Russian, German, Poodle. I don't give a shit who it was. If that group was committing terrorist attacks against us, I would be questioning their right to come into this country. And I think anybody with half a brain is agreeing with me on that comment right there. Now, MSNBC anchor Stephanie Ruhle tweeted that Muslims should not fear retaliation, just as my white American dad didn't after the brutal Las Vegas massacre. Oh. Ham sandwich time. Some dumbass. Because Trump was asked about a senator with the whole Guantanamo Bay. And he said he would back that. He would support that, sending this guy to Guantanamo Bay. So, someone tweeted out, Well, Trump never said that about the guy who did all the killing in Las Vegas. He didn't say you would send him to Guantanamo. That someone else just wrote underneath, the guy's dead. Of course he didn't, you idiot. These people just have such a hatred for Trump that they're willing to bring in more terrorists just to spite. They're willing to put their families at risk just for their hatred of Trump. It's sickening. If you would have told me that people were this stupid, I would have laughed at you. This years ago, I would have laughed at you. I wouldn't have believed it. Teen Vogue writer Lauren Duca warned people against Muslim fear-mongering. And I love it because if you point out the fact that this idiot was an ISIS Islamic Muslim, extreme Muslim, however you want to put it, you get told that you're being xenophobic, Islamophobic. State and fact now is a phobia. I can see how Democrats are scared of the truth. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, and we will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires, due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network, to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid program.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m., Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. Oh, well, you only got like 13 more minutes before Sackhead's radio show with Sackhead Sean, Sackhead Clint, and BZ. I believe it's going to be hosted through Dan the Man Butcher because California seems to have run out of internet. I don't know. Now, CNN, Jake Tapper. What am I thinking? Tapper. It was Tuesday on CNN's The Lead. Host Jake Tapper discussed reports that the New York City attacker yelled Allah Akbar, which means, well, actually, I heard originally it was Aloha Snack Bar. I thought it was just someone hungry. You know, they didn't have a Snickers bar yet, so they kind of went, okay, bad joke. Which came out to be true that he yelled Allah Akbar. As soon as you hear that, you know it's a Muslim. Tapper commented that Allah Akbar, God is great, was sometimes said under the most beautiful of circumstances, but too often in circumstances of terror attacks. Which is, if they don't want it to be used in a negative connotation, maybe they shouldn't use it in a negative situation. It's that simple. If you don't want Allah Akbar to be used in a negative light, don't use it in a negative situation. It's that simple. But Tapper went on, somebody's name has some breaking news that might bear on your take on this horrific incident. The person said, that's right, Jake. So what I'm told by 3 sources now that the NYPD and the FBI are investigating this as a terrorism incident. Our understanding is that according to witnesses who police have now talked to, they're telling police that they heard the driver yelling Allah Akbar during this incident, which is now leading authorities to believe that this is, as a result, that this is now a terrorism case, and I'm just getting an update now that FBI is taking over this case because it appears now that this is terrorism. Jake Tapper responded, the Arabic chant, Allah Akbar, God is great, sometimes said under the most beautiful circumstances, and too often we hear it being said in moments like this. General Clapper, when you were Director of National Intelligence, you had afternoons like the one the Director of National Intelligence, Dan Coates, is having now. What goes through your mind, and what are your actions that you're ordering the intelligence agency to take? What was funny is when this was all going on, it was all over the news. It was all over Twitter. And people were making the statement the guy just said. It's being reported. And you had the apologists that were out there. You don't know. How dare you say that? And everybody's like, it's being announced now. No, well, that still doesn't mean he said it. People couldn't take the truth. There's just too many of these apologists out there. And it's got to stop. I don't want the fake information, but these apologists, these liberal bots that are out there that just go out there every time there's a negative issue, just shut the fuck up. Really, just shut the fuck up. It's tiresome. Your bullshit is just pushing people to look more into it than they normally would. That's the funny part. The more they fight against us, the more people are waking up to exactly what's going on. And they keep pointing out the fact, well, this was an American citizen because, well, he's not an American citizen in my book. He got here because of a diversity visa lottery. And that's why Chuck Schumer's getting a lot of grief from conservatives, the American people, and Trump. And that's why everybody's running around trying to protect little Chucky Schumer. You know, he can go out there and he can cry when Trump talks about he's going to limit who comes into the country and say how mean it is. But I didn't see Chucky Schumer out there crying because, you know, his state, New York City, just lost 8 people from a terrorist attack. I didn't see Chucky Schumer going out there and fucking crying. But he's cried for Muslims because they weren't allowed to come into our country. But old Chucky Schumer was the author for this lottery program that brought this asshole into the country. Jeff Flake ran out and tried to protect Chuck Schumer, which is like, what the fuck is a supposed conservative going out there trying to protect Chuck Schumer for? Well, it kind of confirms my suspicion that Jeff Flake is more a fucking liberal than he is conservative. I mean, Chuck Schumer came out years ago, bragged that this was his baby, that he came up with this, that he's the author, he's the sponsor, and now Schumer's, as Dave, the unpleasant blind guy, is calling it, Schumer's terrorist. Now all of a sudden, Chuck Schumer doesn't want anything a part of that diversity program that was his. He created it, his idea. He needs to bear the fruit from it. Democrats they're having a bad couple of weeks. You got to give them that. They're having a bad couple of weeks. You had the uranium one really broke big. You had the dossier with it being financed by the DNC and all that. That really hurt them. They started to get a little reprieve with Monday's news of Manafort being arrested. But then this terrorist attack happens, and it's a Schumer terrorist. And again, it really pissed me off because where was Schumer crying when the residents of his state that he represents, but he could cry for foreigners? Yeah, I was about to say they deserve more than a bad couple weeks. They deserve long time. But where is Chucky Schumer's tears for those dead? And see, that's where I stand up for guns, because I don't see him crying for any of the victims. Dan the Man Butcher, what's up? Just as there was no one there from this shit state, New Jersey, that was there crying when my dad got shot. But they're there to cry when the Muslims can't come into the country. I don't know. It just pisses me off more and more I think about it. Problem is, we've been seeing these attacks using vehicles more often, because it's hard to know when they're going to happen. Now, the only thing that really pissed me off is, again, this guy was on the radar of the FBI. He had been interviewed in the past, and he was on the radar. And he was on the radar, but yet he was able to pass a background check for Uber. Why was he able to pass that background check? The FBI had him on the radar for terrorist incidents. We need to go back to undercover surveillance of these mosques. Stop worrying about if we hurt someone's feelings. I'd rather hurt someone's feelings than have American lives lost. And with that, I'm going to duck out a minute or two early to give time for everything to get switched over. Stick around. Top of the hour, as I said, is the Sackheads Radio Show, hosted by Sackhead Clint, BZ, and Sackett Sean. Everybody have a great night. I'll be back tomorrow. Peace. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.